Good evening to you all. Welcome back to SFR. This is Division 2 for round number 6 here at the Chinese Grand Prix. My name is Indigo, or Jamie Morris as you prefer to call me. And alongside me tonight is Simo. How are you doing, mate?
Very good, thank you, Jamie. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. I'm happy to be back here at the Chinese Grand Prix after the Belgian Grand Prix last time out when it was both RBs who won after a fantastic victory with Yusuf and Veloci Arab Jr. taking a fantastic victory and Mr. Joker getting his first podium of the season as well. Mr. Joker, I don't think he's here. So, yes, he is. He's in the Alpine. So he was sponsored with Ferrari last week. Now he's fitted in the Alpine. Mr. Joker is very quick after his third attempt here as well. Tagabuka says it's dry. We're ready to see for Div 2. Not really. I think we're seeing quite a few. I think we're seeing quite a few dry races in Division 2, but it's Division 3 is where the rain pours down.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was going to say Div 2, I've always seen dry races there. Div 3, obviously, the rain obviously follows Mr. Wiggles wherever he goes. He was in the same division last season, and it was raining pretty much every single race. And since he's moved to Div 3, yeah, absolutely chucked it down wherever he's gone. Div 4, we did have a bit of rain in Spa last weekend. That was just in qualifying. And then the race was dry. So hopefully it'll stay dry for these guys in Div 2 around China. And we're looking forward to a fun-packed qualifying and race.
We are indeed. It was a dry race here last season when it was McLaren 1-2 when the former Div 2 champion Keith managed to take the victory on his teammate on the last lap of the Grand Prix because it looked like Adams had it in his hands, but Keith out of nowhere managed to put himself in between himself and his McLaren teammate because I think Keith went for it down the inside in towards turn 13 at 14, I think, into that hairpin. But on board with Yoram as he's about to start a flying lap around here in Shanghai. He didn't have a great start, unfortunately, back at the Belgian Grand Prix. He slipped down the order, but still managed to finish inside the top 6 as he makes his way through turn 1 then. As you can see, let the engine do the braking, but I think he carried too much speed, therefore went to the brakes, locked the rear end of the car, and lost momentum going in towards turn 2. Now headed towards turn 3 and turn 4, just gradually picking up the throttle on the exit of the corner before we make our way now towards turn 5 we go. Let's see his first intermediate split. It's going to be a 23.9. Dabbing on the brakes in towards turn 6 we go when we saw Daniel Ricciardo make an outstanding move on Valtteri Bottas in 2018 when he took his win for Red Bull after an engine penalty in FP3. Here comes Yoram now coming towards these fast corners we go. Very tricky indeed. We saw Ellie go off there yesterday in Division 3. Zeno unfortunately has got a qualifying ban. He had a race ban last time out, got a qualifying ban, so double disaster there for the Ferrari driver as both Ferraris are back because Emils and Zeno went missing and Mr. Joker replaced him as well. As here comes Yoram now, being very careful into this section of the track because it's so difficult. Downhill, right-hander, sometimes very easy to make a mistake there because you lose the back end of the car, especially in the race 2 with dirty air. Now, down this DRS straight, 1 kilometres as we head down towards the braking zone, reaching speeds about 325 kilometres an hour before we hit the brakes, braking at the 100-metre board. Down to the gears he goes, double locks up, but still makes the corner, which is very important indeed. As long as you slow the car down, that's all that matters. And now we make our way towards the final corner. He's out of deployment as the DRS then will be enabled. Let's see our first banker lap, which is a 31.3, quite competitive.
It is quite a competitive lap. I was just watching Youssef as well. He's just completed his lap time, goes into P2 with 1:31.5, and it is a competitive lap time for round here as we have Lord Brad Topchi going into pole with a 1:31.2 there. So obviously these guys are just getting their banker laps in at the moment as Mr. Joker with 1:31.23 goes into fastest P1 there. Again, everyone's just getting their bank laps in and seeing where they can get themselves in the order for today.
Exactly there, Mr. Joker showing some phenomenal pace. He finished P3 at the Belgian Grand Prix last week, but unfortunately he picked himself up a 3-second time penalty. And Mr. Joker and the RB of the Yusuf, they do know each other. We saw the slipstream at the Belgian Grand Prix last time out. We saw it again in Austria, 2 weeks prior to that one. So they do know each other. They are working together. But unfortunately for Veloci Arab Jr., he would not like to see that as Velocity Jr. finished P2 to pick up his first podium of the season. So decent run for RB so far as we head down this long back straight we go there. With the Haas right behind us, that can't be Yarn. It must be Kalusler who's on the flying lap right behind him. In fact, both Hasses are on the back straight, so it could be either of them. But here comes Velocity Jr. now, making his way towards the braking point, slowing the car down, which is very crucial indeed because it's so easy just to outbrake yourself to that corner. Then it's a heavy traction zone, which means the tyres will be very hot as well, so you're going to get it correct with traction. Here comes the RB driver. He crossed the line now. It's a 31.0, and what a mega lap time. Gets it nice and tidy and puts himself into first place. Great lap time.
Absolutely, what an absolute flyer of a lap there from Velocity Jr. Just on board here with Mansell now. He's just on his first flying lap now. Obviously, the reigning champion from Div 2 last season. Or was it Div 1? I think I can't remember which
Division 2.
Division 2. That's it. So he's just coming around his first sector. With I think it was a 24.0, I believe it was. He's just coming up to come underneath the DHL bridge before he comes into this section here where I sometimes do like it, but it's a little bit banked. So you've got to be careful you don't run the car out too wide there as you come down around the corner onto the back straight here. As you come up, you get a nice drive out of there. You come underneath the Amarocco bridge to get that DRS. As he comes flying down, going up to speed of over 200 miles an hour down here, 205. He's got full top speed there. Hard braking onto this hairpin as we come up towards the final corner. Gets a nice drive out of there. Hopefully we can get a nice lap time as long as you don't invalidate and go too wide out the final corner, which you didn't. As long as you get a nice drive around there. P13, 132.3. So don't know if he'll be too happy with that or whether he's just sort of sightseeing of what he can do as he has a spin after the first corner there.
Yeah, nice little spin indeed for Mansell as he struggled out of turn 2. It was on his out lap as well, in lap, sorry. So Martin goes up to P15. He did race in Division 3 yesterday, but unfortunately had no luck in that Grand Prix either. So there is your first lap time set. Whilst it's quiet, we're on board with Atlas Copo and Neymar. So those two are going for more laps on the same set of the Softcore Partai. Neymar has been very quick as well, picking up a win back at the Imola Grand Prix, but hasn't gone particularly his way back in Austria after a few mistakes as well, and in Belgium as well. But here comes the two Mercedes boys. Atlas Copo, I believe he took pole around here at the Chinese Grand Prix last season, because I remember it was both Ferraris versus Atlas Copo. As here comes Copo now towards the final corner. He goes. Let's see what the lap time is. Goes up into P7 with a 31.5. So the championship standards are: Burmeister in the Williams is currently leading the championship ahead of Neymar by about 22 points. Third place is Mansell, third with 69 points. Electro Dan is fourth with 65. Electro Jr. is fifth with 64, only 1 point away from Electro Dan. Yoram, P6 with 62 points after picking up 2 wins at the the Austrian Grand Prix. Apparently he didn't. I thought he picked up 2 wins, but he didn't. So Klusler finishes in is P7 in the Haas as well. Behind him, 59 points. Yusuf is 8th with 59 points. I think that at the Austrian Grand Prix, I remember him winning 2 races. It must have been 2, because I remember saying, I have no idea. I think he won he did win the Mexican Grand Prix, that's for sure. But I'm going to have to investigate that, because I do remember him winning 2 Grand Prix. But Klusler 7th with 59 points. Yusuf 8th with 59 points. Yusuf picked up 2 podiums as well. His last 2 podiums were Mexico and Belgium. And Adams is 9th with a fantastic race at the Belgian Grand Prix, finishing 4th place. He was disappointed because there was more on the table, but unfortunately the guys had better strategies than him. Most people would have went on to wets to inters, but some people did wets to dries. Unbelievable at a track like Spa, where the tyres were burning up. And in 10th place is Oliver in a 10th as well, as Adams is currently on a flying lap in the McLaren. Let's see how he does then as he powers his way down the straight, as he's not used a lot of battery so far. Now he's obliterated the battery. I've noticed a lot of people as well are quite low in terms of their battery as well in towards the final sets, because we saw Yoram derate, lose his battery with his 1 lap allowance. Here he comes towards the final corner. Let's see what the McLaren driver could do. The man that finished 2nd last season, he crossed the line now. Unfortunately for him, that's P12.
Yeah, just unfortunate there for Adams. Obviously, he had a flyer of a season last season, and unfortunately towards the back end of it, he sort of dropped off and had a few mistakes, which is a shame there for him. He does show good pace, Hopefully he can change his season around this year and hope for all of the best for him.
Indeed, Tiger Bucher, the man that won the Chinese Grand Prix yesterday with a dominant lead of 8 seconds, pulled away from Mr. Wiggles, Ellie and Scanny. Here comes Tiger Bucher towards the line, towards the hairpin right now, breaking on the 100-meter board. His best lap time is on the medium compound tyres then, so there's more to come from the young Brit as he exits the corner. Teammates, of course, but Burmeister, let's see how that partnership goes, because I know Oliver's not rated tonight. So Taika Bucher with the DRS Open. Let's see. This could be pole. No, it's not. It's P5 with a 31.2, but it's so close there. Fantastic effort to get ahead of Yoram as well. So these lap times are so close. But so far, it's an RB12 with Velocito Jr. on pole ahead of Yusuf. So fantastic for both RBs as they scored a 1-2 at the Belgian Grand Prix. And so far, it's in the hands in qualifier, but anything could change, as we know.
Absolutely. Obviously, it's just qualifying at the moment in time. However, they have got track position, and they can use each other to, like, I can't remember who it was in Austria. They just used each other for DRS just to catch up to the very front. I think it was to try and catch up to Burmeister, I think it was, or Johan. And they were just playing TIG with each other, basically using each other, and hopefully these guys in the RBs, if they can keep these positions for qualifying, they can use that advantage to pull each other away from the pack and keep that as a 1-2 for the team.
That was Burmeister and Atlas Copo. Danny Boy, sorry. It was Danny Boy and, Burmeister, because those two worked very well together to try and catch Yoram. Yoram did win the Austrian Grand Prix. I remember that. Velocito Jr. with a 30.6. What a lap time from the RB. 4/10 clear of Yusuf. However, Lord Brother Top G slipped up into P3, but he did go off the track in the final corner, but didn't classify as an invalidation. So he got away with that one and puts himself into P3. I'm not quite sure if he lost any time or not. Maybe gained a little or lost a little. But here comes the Mills down towards turn 14 in the hairpin. Both Mercedes are in the slipstream of each other. That's Neymar behind Alex Copo, orchestrating the slipstream. I think they both backed off in the final two corners. Here comes the Mills now towards the line as he goes up into P6. A valiant effort there, splits both Williams and puts himself with a 31.2. These times are very close indeed as well. Electro Dan and Mindful Wasp, but Stank is up into P10 in the kick Sauber. So valiant effort from him as Alex Copo just crossed the line to start another flying lap time. So Stank is, I think, a Division 4 driver, I dare say, but he's done a mega job so far. Has the Sauber drivers put himself inside the top 10, filling in with big shoes around here in Division 2.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's doing well to get that P10 at the moment in time. Just on board with Atlas Copo, who was just, he finished his out lap and he's gone on to a flying lap. However, he's lost the back end of the car there, coming out of the first couple of corners, and he's invalidated his lap time. But yeah, no, Stank, he's done really well so far, and to get himself up into P10 in that Sauber. He's filling in some big boots there, and hopefully we can see him here in this division in the future.
Hopefully as well. And Tiger Bucher, the newcomer, out-qualifies the championship leader and his teammate Burmeister as well. So Tiger Bucher showing some phenomenal pace. I know the guys in Div 3 wanted him to be Division 2, and this is where he is right now, showing his potential true pace. He's been in Division 1 as well last week in the Belgian Grand Prix. Div 3, Div 2 and Div 1 he filled in for, so he's got a lot of experience racing with quicker guys. But there is 4 minutes left to go in this session, and Mazda is not on a flying lap time. A few people have played with the track limit, have played with the track limits as well, and a few validations are out there. Here comes Danny Boy towards turn 8, and now we're coming towards a double left-hander. He did go out wide in towards turn 8, so might have a bit of a compromised run, as look at that, almost off the track in turn number 11 there, because that corner or that curve on the outside can catch a lot of people out. But Danny Boy is 3/10 down in the middle sector as well. That curve at the exit of turn 11 can really throw the back end of the car away, or you can get stuck in it. We saw Valtteri Bottas spin there as well back in 2017 under a safety car trying to warm up his tyres. But I believe Mr. Joker is currently in a flying lap. His Alpine teammate is 20th place. Mindful Wasp is on a lap time, I think. So here he is, quite a few qualifying bans, but some decent recovery drives for Mindful Wasp. He's one of those drivers that he has it in him, but unfortunately just makes one too many mistakes. Here he is towards the final corner. Let's see where the RP driver could go as he crossed the line right now. Goes up into P14. Next on board is Mr. Joker P4. Look at that. 300s for the first sector. Can he continue with an improvement here in the middle and final sector?
Yeah, he's had a really clean first sector there. I was just on board watching him, and so far this middle sector is looking really clean as well. Hopefully, he can continue to use his speed and advantage and get himself up through the ranks, as he is up again in this second sector. So it's all to play for in this final sector, coming around this long right-hand corner. Coming down towards this DRS straight. He has got a car in front of him in which he'll get a little bit of a tow there, so he will get an advantage there. He does get DRS as well. I think it is his teammate. Yes, he'll be moving along to the side. No, it wasn't his teammate, it was an RB there, sorry. As he brakes really hard there into the hairpin, cuts the curb there beautifully. Coming out to get that right hand side to get a sweep round onto this left hand corner, up towards the final straight. As he gets the deployment used of his ERS, and he moves into P2 there with 1 minute 30.8.
So that RB was Yusuf, and I believe the same respect is given back towards Yusuf as well. So both of them are orchestrating the slipstream. Veloci Jr. must be very annoyed right now to see his own teammate betray him and give the opposing team a slipstream. But these two are very close. They're both Romanian and they're very close friends. So Mr. Joker and Yusuf played this well back in the Austrian Grand Prix, where they both gave each other a slipstream and they worked really well. But Yusuf is down in the first sector, but he might gain the time back in the final sector when Mr. Joker gives him a slipstream. 1 minute and 50 seconds left to go on the clock. Every single driver out there on the circuit then, as the time continues to tick down. Yusuf now flicks his way in towards turn 8, coming towards this left-hander we go. Nice entry there. Can he keep it nice and tidy going through turn 10? He can, as he gets back on the throttle once again, heading down towards the end of the middle sector. He's a 10th up in the middle sector, but he's about to find more time because his friend is right in front of him, but gets a bit of oversteer and more oversteer as well, as he's fighting with the rear end of the car, constantly complaining as he applied the throttle. Here we are then, there's the Alpine right in front of us, as Yusuf will get a slipstream back as well. So it's a bit too far away for a slipstream, I dare say, so not really getting the full effect for tow. But now we're making our way down towards turn 14, braking just before the 100 metre board, scrubbing off all the speed, kissing the apex on the entry before we head back on the throttle once again, as now we make our way towards the final corner. Let's see if Yusuf found time in that final sector to beat his teammates as we make our way towards the line now. It's going to be a 30.8, and he's just a few hundred shy of Mr. Joker in P2. Great lap time as well from him.
Yeah, amazing lap time there. Just on board with the Mills here. He's just starting his final flying lap here. He's just coming round the first couple of corners here, keeping it nice and tight onto that right hand side. A little bit scrubbed too much speed off there around that first corner. However, he's coming out there and he's got a front car in front of him. However, he might get a little bit of slipstream there as he comes flying down, hard braking here into this right hand corner, getting a nice little bit of clip of the curb there, coming out up towards this fast left-hand corner, which I absolutely love. However, you've got to be careful you don't clip the curb, and the car can complain a bit there. This is a nice middle sector here, coming up through to this left-hander. You've got to be careful again not to catch too much curb, and you might invalidate the lap if you go too far over on that right-hand side, coming up towards this 100 metre board, braking hard at the 50 metre, going into the left, and then you've got this nice right-hander here, keeping it out right to the left, and then you're coming into the right hand side again, swooping back to the left hand side as you come down towards this flying back straight, as you get DRS coming up towards this zone. So hopefully you can get your speed up using that ERS a little bit as well. He's got it onto that hot lap, so he's going to be braking at this 100 metre board just here, coming up towards the hairpin as he locks back into the car up. Yeah, it's going to be the end of qualifying now. I think they scrubbed too much speed off as he locked the back of the car up, which is a shame because he was having a bit of a nice flow of a lap there, which is unfortunate, but he goes up into P7 now.
It's a shame for him, Mills. Didn't improve, stays in P7, as I think Burmeister went up into P4 in the Williams. There's a much better lap time. Both Williams showing some good displays of drivers so far. Here comes Neymar now towards the line as he goes over it. It's going to be P5 with a 31.0. It's a 5.7. Where's Yoram? Yoram's down to P9. That's not good there for the Haasman. Usually strong in qualifying, but here he's slipping backwards a bit as well. Electrodyne goes into P7 in the Aston Martin. Where is Mansell, the man in P3 in the championship? Unfortunately, he is 14 seconds down, and that's his qualifying done and dusted. Atlas Copo went a bit wide out of turn 14, similarly towards Mills as well, did the same thing, but I think he's headed back in the pit lane he is, and qualifies done and dusted. But Lord Danny Boy in P19, unfortunately, 39.9, not representative, so he couldn't get a clean lap, and he's missing his end play as well. So that's unfortunate for Danny Boy, who made his debut in Division 2 at the Austrian Grand Prix, finished in P3 on that day as well. But here in China, a completely different story, a completely different track, and unfortunately starts at the back with Zenum's Adams as well in P18, disappointing qualifying after the highs of last season, finishing in P2.
Yeah, unfortunate there for both Adams and Lord Danny Boy there. Just obviously couldn't get clean lap times, and obviously China is some people's weakest track. I know I'm not a fan of it, which is a shame. However, I will let you go through the results in a minute as soon as they come up on the screen.
Here we are then. It is Velocio Jr. who takes his first pole of the season. Congratulations, fantastic as well from Velocio Jr. Both RBs are on fire so far, storming their way to the championship. It is Mr. Joker in P2 ahead of Yusuf. Burmeister P4 ahead of Neymar, Lord Brother Top G in P6 ahead of Electro Dan, Tiger Buka in P8, Mills P9, Yarwan P10, Stank in P11 ahead of Karsh, Alice Kopo, Madsa, Martin, Klusler, Mindful Wasp, Adams, Lord Danny Boy, and Xenon will start in last place. Ferrari were up there in China last season, but this time round they start lower down in the field then. So what a difference the season can make as well. But we'll see. Can they come back to the race? Does Cena have the pace? Sometimes he does, but sometimes he goes for a spin. But I wonder how long I'm going to be saying that for. Like, when will he finally... I don't want to be too harsh at it, but when will he finally... what's the right word? Stop spinning.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from there. It's, yeah. Sometimes you're confident in your qualifying, which makes you overly confident for the race, and then obviously you just clip that curve a little bit too much, which, yeah, it happens. And I think sometimes if you have a bad qualifying, then you're not in the right mindset as such for the race. But then if you have a great qualifying, you'd be a bit overconfident for the race, and that's where your silly little mistakes start coming in. And it all depends on like your mindset. If something's happened during the day, and you're just not in that right mindset, but it varies. And hopefully this is one of the races in which she can be like, ha, yeah, nah, I'm going for it, and I'm going to be up there. And hopefully it'd be nice. It'd be nice to see the Ferraris back up there, because obviously, like you said, last season they dominated here, and it'd be nice for them to be back again.
Just waiting for the signal to ready up, as it's Mansel's call, as he's the host of the session. Unfortunately, Oliver's not here tonight, but what's your expectations around here in China? Who do you think is going to prevail around here?
It's going to be a close call, obviously. You got the two Alpines up there, and you've got the Williams as well of Burmeister. Burmeister's having an absolute flyer of a season this season so far. Yeah, it could be anyone's game. It'd be nice to see Yarham up there as well again, and like I was saying, it'd be nice to see the Ferraris back up there. It would just be nice to see a bit of a change as such. See like Atlas Copa up there, Lord Danny Boy. Hopefully he can make a sort of recovery drive as such. But yeah, no, it could be anyone's race at the moment. And obviously, like I said earlier, China's everyone's sort of weakest link. They don't really think to practice that much, as we are getting ready now to go on the formation lap.
So let's see the starter tyres then. Some of them, in fact, majority of them, have got the hard on, and a few people have got the medium compound tyres on. So it looks like they split the strategy, but we'll see which strategy is the best. I had a race around here in China, I think it was a few weeks ago. I did the mediums. No, what did I do? Yeah, I did the medium hard strategy, but it didn't work out because there was rain. I didn't realise rain was on its way, so that completely ruined my strategy because I had to do a 2-stop instead of a 1-stop strategy. And a few people last week at the Belgian Grand Prix got caught about that too, because they didn't realise how quickly the track dried over a certain amount of time as well, because it dried very quickly when it was heavy rain, because everybody was on the wet compound tyres. Then it went to, some people did wets to dries, and the people that did wet to dry strategy were the ones who finished up towards the order. It was a fantastic strategy, Abrams was a bit disappointed by that because he, as expected, when the track is dried up and you're on the wet compound tyres, your instant mindset, your instinct is to go on the intermediates. But obviously, some people think longer in terms of long-term game, knowing the track is getting drier and drier. So therefore, they push the boundaries, and they did the wets to dry tyres, which was unbelievable. I believe both RBs did it. Mr. Joker did it, and I think who else did it? It was somebody else. I think was it Klusler? I think it was, but. Yeah, fantastic strategy for people because that was amazing to see because you don't really see that, especially around Belgium. But last time I've seen somebody do that, I think it was Lewis Hamilton back in 2016 when he went from wets to the ultra soft tyre in 2016 in Monaco.
Yes, yeah, I remember that race. Obviously, it's just whoever's got the biggest confidence at that point, whoever's most confident in the wet but on slick tyres. But yeah, it's all on strategy, and everyone's got their specified, I don't know, allocation of what they want to do. They all do practice races, hopefully, and get themselves ready for the race. However, we're just waiting for the last few cars to come around, as we are waiting for the Ferrari of Zenon to come around the final corner and get his Scuderia Ferrari HP lined up in P20 as we are ready to go for the race in China.
Exciting times ahead of us. We've got the pre-season test tomorrow in Bahrain, of course, starting from 6:55 in the morning. Here we are then, all 20 drivers lined up here in China. And we are underway for the Chinese Grand Prix for round 6. It looks like the RB of Yusuf gets a decent start, but he might be boxed in. No, it's not because he's about to go wheel to wheel, but almost a torpedo moment going down towards turn 1 there between both RBs and the LP. But Mr. Joker slips into the lead of the Grand Prix, puts himself into first place. One by the top G. It's fighting away with Neymar as he's got him on the inside. Yusuf is trying to take on his own teammate, but can he? Has a bit of a moment going out there. There's Burmeister side by side with Yusuf as we go down towards turn 6. A bit of contact there between those two. Wheel banging, but late on the brakes goes Burmeister, almost in the back of the other RB, the Hong Kong Pod tyres. Out wide goes Neymar, gets shuffled past, I think, by the top G. Here comes Yusuf, wheel to wheel, in an unexpected place, but they end their fight because you don't want to go side by side through this particular part of the track. But Yusuf's keeping the throttle pinned. He's trying to go around the outside. It is so close to contact there, but Yusuf now puts himself back into P3 mega race as well. That could have ended badly because Burmeister's scrumming left to right, so he might not be happy with that one, but Yusuf now puts himself into P3. Both RBs on different strategies.
Yes, Jay. Again, the start here, everyone was fighting for it, and obviously Mr. Joker's got the bit there as one of the... I can't see who that was. It was the Kicksauber of Stank who spun round there, unfortunately, just before this back straight. As we're on board with Atlas Copy, he is under pressure from Adams. Adams is going to try and think about making a move down into the hairpin. Here he goes down onto the inside, hard on the brakes, and he does get that overtake done. So that's a lovely overtake there from Adams. That's one more position back up, and he's gained 4 positions so far on this first flying lap, which is the most positions gained so far.
DRS is enabled, and Emils was flirting with the track limits on the exit of the final corner. So most gained is Adams, I think, from P18 to P14. Great start from the Scotsman in P14, and the most lost is Stang after spinning, unfortunately, in turn number 13. That banked right-hander. So I think he must have made a mistake and dropped it by himself, unfortunately. He's down in last place now as he's 4 seconds behind Michael Wasp's near competitor. As we see Michael Wasp and Zenum going wheel to wheel as Zenum just beats him in the corner in towards turn 6, but Michael Wasp gets a better exit and slips past him again, puts himself into P18. So we're back to our stage where it's normal reality resumes, because these guys will stick in the DRS range of each other and be a big DRS trade. But we have got a few certain people on different tyre compounds. So first, third and fourth, the only people are on the medium compound tyre. Madson moves ahead of Kosh, puts himself into 11th place. Now they're side by side in towards the corner, but the most crucial part about this is they don't want to lose the DRS on the back of the rivals. Emil's lost DRS, but he might get himself put a DRS on the straight because he was 1 second before the detection point. Here comes the RBs. Here comes Yusuf, but blocked off by his teammate as we head down towards turn 14. They're wheel to wheel, but it looks like Velocio Jr. stays ahead, but no, but Yusuf's still around the outside, gets a better exit than his RB teammate, so they're both scrapping away hard. No love lost between those two because Velocio Jr. feels betrayed. That Mr. Joe, oh, there's contact between those two again. Almost in the wall there, but thankfully not as we continue. Here comes Burmeister, he goes through! P4 to P2, he came out of nowhere, used the battery and puts himself into P2. What a fantastic, audacious move to put himself 2 places up and gets past both RBs.
Yeah, just on board here, Utkarsh unfortunately lost 2 positions there to Adams and Kluser, so Kluser's now up into P12 as the Mills is going down the order. The Mills has had a spin there. I'm not too sure what happened there, unfortunately. So he is down into P19. I think he just lost a car, or there's possibly contact made. I'm not too sure. I just missed that. I just seen his name dropping down the order. But yeah, Adams and Kluser had a double overtake there on Utkarsh, which is a shame. However, hopefully he can fight himself back up again, as Adams and Kluser are battling with each other for that P11 and possibly trying to get Mansell as well.
Look at this, there's both RBs in hot pursuit of each other. As Burmeister was on his way to take away P2 and potentially the lead of the Grand Prix. Here he is, the Dutchman leading the championship as he has the DRS wide open. Had a dismal qualifier back in Belgium, but he's back here in Shanghai as we head towards turn 14, where I think it was Sebastian Bourdais who lost contact between those two. That's Neymar making contact, late braking as he lost the car. And here, in the wall or in the grass goes Tagabuka. And now they lost the DRS thanks to that. So big contact going down towards turn 14. As they've lost the DRS, but here comes Burmeister now on Mr. Joker as we head down towards turn 1, but we're not going for a move unless he goes down the inside, forcing Mr. Joker off the race line. Yoram and Neymar now going wheel to wheel here in towards the first few corners we go, but it looks like Yoram gets ahead of Tiger Buka as now these two of Neymar and Electro Dan go into wheel to wheel as Velocio Jr. gets past his teammate as he puts himself into P3. It looks like Yusuf had a bit of a mistake at turn number 4 there, so I think he lost the car as Velocio Jr. was easy pickings to put himself now into P3. So both RBs are scrapping quite hard in this Grand Prix, not working together as you expect, but we know Yusuf and Mr. Joker are working together.
Yeah, I was just watching that incident there from the hairpin. Lord Brad Top G had that bit of a wobble and then he went into the side pod of Tyler Babuka there, which allowed Yaham to come up and then Neymar almost coming up as well. Electro Dan is with this group as well, and behind him is his teammate Mansell. He's not too far behind him, so he's just watching this battle unfold, and hopefully we can see the Williams of Tiger Buka all over the back of Yaham now. Is he going to get that DRS? Is he going to get the move done before the braking zone? We're not too sure, but we'll soon find out, as DRS can be powerful here as Burmeister goes into first position as he overtakes Mr. Joker.
Burmeister from first to fourth in 4 laps, doing a mega job, catching both RBs off guard and now puts himself into the lead there, so in a prime position to try and control this race with Mr. Joker in P2. As you can see there, people moving to the right side. This is the way to go, because in Bahrain as well, they move to the right side because there's bumps going down the straight, as it doesn't really affect them during the Grand Prix. It's more a qualifier where you need those extra 10 to put yourself up the order as well. But yeah, we do see some people move off the racing line to go all the way around the side. Very unrealistic, of course, unless there's actually bumps in China or Bahrain in the middle of the track. But we see it in Silverstone too on the Wellington straight as they move over to the left-hand side because there's a big bump in the middle. But Yoram is desperately trying to catch back in DRS range now because these guys were fighting so hard amongst themselves. It happened at a turn 14 with Neymar and Lord Brad the Top G made contact as Yoram is trying to get the DRS range, but he needs to get in the DRS range immediately in these slow speed corners where he can gain the time, because the dirty air will be affecting these guys as well. So while he has the free air right now, he's struggling though. The gap is 1.1 seconds then, so he might lose his big chance unless he tries to use all of his battery to try and get himself in that DRS range. If he can't, he can be vulnerable to the guys behind, and there's no way catching up now because these guys want the DRS. But Brad G is in hot pursuit of Yusuf as we head down the long and back straight there. All have a DRS once again. Let's see if the orders change. Let's see if the both RB drivers will overtake each other. As you can see, people putting on a station. Here comes Mr. Joker now to take the lead of the Grand Prix as we head down towards turn 14. He is back in the lead as he makes it on the brakes. There's contact between both RBs again, so they're not yeah, not playing with each other, well, not working together, shall we say, as these two being very aggressive in the RB camp there, but they need to work together as here comes Yusuf now with the DRS again on the back of his own teammate. Let's see if he goes for a move. He will, as they go wheel to wheel. They're both on different tyre strategies as well, as Velocio Jr. is on the harder compound tyres, of course. Now Yusuf is trying to go all the way around the outside. He's forced all the way around the outside, but he goes a bit deeper towards turn 2, heading towards 3 and 4. As there's more contact made, here comes Top G as he slips through. Oh, contact as well between those two, and they both lost a little bit of time as they both tagged each other and kept it going in the right direction, thankfully at least.
Yeah, obviously Yusuf tried to make the move stick around the outside and then he possibly get the inside, but it didn't quite work out, I don't think. Look, Brad, he's trying, he really is trying, he's just waiting for someone to make a mistake, i.e. the RBs, which he's already got one, he's just got to defend from Velocio Jr. Tiger Buka is on the back of him as well, so it's all hotting up and they're all pretty much stuck together at the moment. There's not a massive gap between anyone apart from when we go to P15, which is Martin. He's 3 seconds behind Kluser, but everyone else is all sort of stuck together in this DRS train, and it can be anyone's game at this point.
It could be indeed. Lord Brother Top G's last podium was at the Japanese Grand Prix last season, so it's been a long time since Top G has stepped on the podium, as Karsh and Michael Wasp are going to be able to wheel, but Karsh has gone off the track and allowed Michael Wasp to go through. You know what? Decent race so far for Michael Wasp. P17 to P5 as Burmeister, I think, is about to make a move on Mr. Joker again. Yes, he is then, as he puts himself back in the lead of the Grand Prix, as these two traded DRS to keep the guys behind, but Velocio Jr. now demotes into P5 as Neymar gets ahead of Electro Dan. There's been another split in the DRS there, so the second pack has performed as Neymar is 2 seconds away then, so holding these guys up as Mansell is on the back of his teammate too, so great drive for Mansell so far after a disappointing qualifying, but all these guys are so pushed up together as well.
Yeah, I was just watching Electro Dan as well. He's stuck behind Neymar at the moment. He's trying to get past that Mercedes to try and get ahead of that and push, because Electro Dan, he has got the pace on those hard tyres, so he's just hoping for a mistake from this Mercedes and hopefully trying to get to be able to pull away from him and hopefully help out Mansell along the way, as Mansell is behind him as well.
Yeah, these guys on the hard compound tyres should start to have an effect very soon, because the hards will be better than the medium compound tyres, so the top three will start to have tyre issues, and later on in the Grand Prix, not just yet though, the peak performance haven't gone just yet, but here comes Mr. Joker with the DRS again as he puts himself back into the lead of the Grand Prix. The top two just traded DRS, keep it nice and smooth there, as Burmeister has hit the back of him. It was like a concertina effect going down towards the hairpin there. We saw that with Lawrence Stroll when he just hit the back of Daniel Ricciardo as he wasn't paying attention last year as well. Took Daniel Ricciardo out of the Grand Prix despite Ricciardo running a decent race, a race he needed because his contract, his seat was under threat. Here comes Burmeister back again as we head down towards Turn 1. This reminds me as well back in 2013 when both Ferraris overtook Lewis Hamilton as well as they shuffled themselves back into first and second. But I think it was Fernando Alonso who won here in 2013 in the Ferrari. It was his last win. Was it? No, it was Spain, sorry. Spain was his last win in 2013 because he scored 2 victories in that year. But here comes Top G, but he switched to the inside. No, he won't. He stays behind as well. He's in an RB sandwich. Is Lord Brad the Top G. Doing a decent job so far is Bradley in P4. So Hasse Yoram then has caught up to the back of his battle, but Neymar seems to be losing a lot of time in P8 then. So he's really struggling around here in China as the guys behind will be frustrated to see the leading pack pull away. And that DRS train has been broken from the rest of the field then, so it's 8th downwards. That was the second part or second half of this DRS train with the top 6 or top 7 pull away from the rest of the field.
Yeah, I was just watching. You got from P14 down up to Neymar in P8. Everyone's in this train as such, and Neymar is losing time. He's 2.2 seconds away from Yarham now. So these guys are starting to get a little bit impatient now and wanting to make the move stick, as here comes Mansell down on the inside of his teammate Electro down into P9 now. Can he get Neymar contact? There's a little bit of late braking there from Mansell. I'm not too sure whether Neymar just got it stopped too late. We're not too sure. There was contact there. However, here comes Electro down He's going to make this move carry out, but he's not. So that is back to the order onto how we are as Electric Dan is dropping down the order as he's been taken by Adams and Mindful Wasp, as here comes Electric Dan round the outside, or trying to, of Mindful Wasp. However, he can't get the move to stick.
And once again, Mindful Wasp and Adams still fights at the corner, but Adams gets a decent launch around the outside in towards turn 4. But Mindful Wasp, when he go down the inside to reclaim that position, but no, here comes Adams down the inside. That's a very late move. Mansell saw him coming, but look at this. Mindful Wasp gets a much better exit than both of them, and he puts himself into P9 there. I'm not quite sure if Adams meant to make that move, or he just outbroke himself and therefore had to make the move. But luckily, Mansell was well aware and paid attention and saw him coming. So thankfully, no more contact.
Electro Dan just caught his front wing there on Mansell's rear right tyre. It did make him go a little bit squiggly there out of that corner. However, he's still got full front wing and has not made any effect to his or Mansell's race there. So he's really lucky with that mistake there for me.
Yeah, both Aston Martins now outside the top 10 as they were in it momentarily, but a few mistakes as well were made along the way. Here comes Mr. Joker as Burmeister gets so close towards the back of him. I remember, I think it was Adrian Sutil who crashed out here in 2013, because was it Esteban Gutierrez who crashed him out, or was it the other way around? I know both Force Indians, as Yusuf almost lost at the corner there, but I know Force Indians back in 2013 made contact in the exit at turn number 14. I think Paul Di Resta had to retire, but somebody smashed into the back of somebody in 2013. Was it a Sauber of Esteban Gutierrez? I know Hulkenberg had a decent race because he scored points that day in the Sauber. That wasn't really that good at the time, but I think it was Gutierrez who crashed out. Or could have been Sergio Perez, but I'm not quite sure. It could have been Perez because he made contact with Raikkonen the same year in 2013. I think it was down here towards turn 6 when we saw Kimi Raikkonen hit the back of Perez. But what a save that was from Kimi Raikkonen back in 2013 as well, as Vettel started down in 9th or 10th place, but still finished on the podium that day as well. Sebastian Vettel had his most dominant year in 2013 around here in Shanghai, or around in the season. But here we are then, Mr. Burmeister still following Mr. Joker, or Burmeister, sorry, following Mr. Joker, as Yusuf is right behind, but the top 3 are on the medium compound tyres. Their tyres must be wearing off at the stage. They might be struggling just a bit because we've seen a few mistakes from the top 3 as well. So the hard compound tyres should have a massive effect now. The crossover point has happened, and they have the grip advantage on the top 3.
Yeah, I'm sure at this point the medium tyres are going to start screaming. Obviously, it's not... Well, it is a bit of a demanding track for the tyres itself, because obviously you got mainly right-hand corners, and you got the odd S section here. As we are watching Adams on the back of Mindful Wasp, I think he's thinking about making the move down into this hairpin, where, fun fact, I remember when Sebastian Buemi, both of his front wheels came flying off on the Toro Rosso, I think it was. Was that here at China, or was that another circuit?
It was here. 2010.
Yeah, it was here. Yeah, that's the one. 2010, down into that hairpin, both front wheels come flying off from under the hard braking. As here comes Adams underneath, that is Neymar. He's going to think about Mindful Wasp as he's going round the outside here of Neymar, keeping that drive going. Neymar gets a little bit more of a better drive, however Adams has got the corner, he has got the inside line to make up for this next corner, and he's made the move stick as we've got a yellow flag. I think that might have been for the Ferrari, I'm not too sure. However, Adams now up into P9 and thinking about making a move on Mindful Wasp.
Yeah, these guys stuck behind as a Red Bull. That's Lord Danny Boy has gone for a spin. Where's that? That's the exit of turn 7 and 8. That's for the grass that got caught on fire as well last season in practice sessions. So unfortunately for Danny Boy having a miserable race around here in China, it is a very difficult track indeed. So here comes Volcheo Jr. now on the back of the Alpine as they get so close on the back of each other. We could see some changes here as Volcheo Jr., Mr. Joker go at it as we head down 2 by 2 in towards turn 14. The leader versus 3rd and 4th place, as let's see who gets ahead of who in towards turn 14. Looks like Yusuf takes the lead of the Grand Prix. Mr. Joker, Volcheo Jr. still going wheel to wheel. Oh, that was so close in the back of the guy ahead of him. I'm not quite sure who that was in front of him, but will he hit him? Nope. They're in the pit lane then to get rid of the medium compound tyres. That's their first stop.
Yeah, so that's going to trigger the effect of everyone who's pitting, as Mansell was probably, I think he was one of the first to pit, as he's coming out of the pits, no, going into the pits, so that is my bad. So yeah, no, medium tyres, they've obviously had enough now, which is going to jiggle things up for the hard runners, because they will be able to run that a little bit longer before they have to box for the new medium tyres, which will give them an advantage towards the end of the race, hopefully.
And that's Tiger Bucher, cut out of nowhere. Side pass, all this contact between those two, but luckily keeps it on the trap. But Lord Brother Top G, I've noticed he's struggling quite a lot in the corners already. He's on the hardcore power tyres, he's slowing up there. Top G has lost his momentum, and the top two of Burmeister and Velocito Jr. have pulled away then. So looks like Tiger Bucher then wants to get past him immediately so doesn't lose too much time towards the top two. Michael Walsh gets ahead of Adams around the outside there as he puts himself into P7. So where are the leaders? They have rejoined the P15 and P16 on the brand new set of hardcore power tyres, looking to do the undercut and looking to try and build up a big gap before these guys on the hardcore power tyres right now switch over to the mediums. Here comes, look at Yoram, double overtake. He puts himself into P3, but not yet though, because Tiger Bucher is still there. Both get shuffled out wide. Can Top G get a better exit? No, he is struggling himself as we go wheel to wheel in towards the final corner. Yeah, that's quite an early pit stop there, as he almost does a Lewis Hamilton.
Spin there from Johan. Johan lost the back end there, coming around the final corner, which allows Tiger Bucher to go up into P2 there, which is a shame there for Johan, as he made a hell of an overtake there on Tiger Bucher, which just didn't quite pan out for him there, as he lost a little bit too much speed there, and I think he is struggling with his tyres a bit.
I noticed that Top G pitted, so he's on the brand new set of mini compound tyres, probably a bit too early there, so he was not enjoying the hard stint at all. He's down into P16 behind his teammates, so you expect these two to give way, and Lord Brother Top D should get past him quickly if Stang doesn't hold him up, because he's not in the same fight as him. There's no need to hold him up, because he knows that Top G was the leader as well, so when he stays behind him, but not in a very good place either. But he does get a better exit than him as he went wide out of turn 6 and gets in front of him. So that's a crucial move there, not to fight with his own teammate, but he might get stuck behind Lord Danny Boy in the wrong place at the wrong time, because he'll lose a lot of time in these high-speed colours, because there's no way to overtake him out here, unfortunately. But here he is then. There's no way he's going to send one to the inside. He's not, so we have to bide his time and wait for the right opportunity to do so, as he's waiting for the DRS to get past him on the straight. It should be an easy move down there, but that's a very early pit stop in my opinion there for Lord Brother Top G. He will make it, but the tyre life will be screaming towards the end. Those mini compound tyres will be dying as Martin puts himself now into P5 ahead of Adam. So interesting strategy from Bradley down there as Yusuf gets ahead of Zenum. Crucial move for him. But can Burmeister follow? He's a bit far behind as Burmeister. These two pitted on the same lap as...
Martin, sorry, coming out of the hairpin onto that straight bit, Martin just suddenly shot across to the right and went into the wall. So I'm not quite sure what happened there. But yeah, no, he's pulling into the pit lane now. He's got a 10-second time penalty. So I'm wondering if he's retired, which is a shame there for Martin. He was running well, but he obviously had that mistake. Yeah, which now holds up his teammate Danny Boy. Danny Boy will be held up in the pit lane due to that Martin retiring in the pits and pulling into the box.
So crucially, the net leaders of this Grand Prix have overtaken Zenum. He's down to P12, so they got past him. Next target is the two Mercedes, who we know are extending their stint on the hardcore power tyres. How long will they go? We know that Bradley gave up on his hardcore power tyres early doors in this Grand Prix to go on the mediums then, so it might bite it back towards the end on those mini compound tyres. He's currently fighting with the Ferrari and Zenum, so he needs to smash him quickly. Use those mini compound tyres with the extra grip on them to try and get themselves closer towards Mr. Joker, Burmeister and Yusuf to have any chance. And here comes Neymar up the inside towards turn 13 then. So nice move there as Atlas Copo was squirming away in the corner to allow his teammates to go through. So McLaren 5-6, Mercedes 7-8. Further behind is our leaders with Yusuf 2 seconds away from Burmeister then. So the hardcore power tyre runners now, the new ones, are currently in 9th place. The highest one is Yusuf. So these guys in the top 8 will go from hards to mediums in a few laps time. We'll see what strategy will work. I'm not quite sure. Let's see what happens towards the end.
Neymar's coming into the pits. Neymar's going box onto, I believe it will be the medium tyres. As Burmeister sets the fastest lap of the race. Oh no, Lord Brad Top G, fastest lap of the race with 1:34.0. So that is the advantage of the medium tyres. Hopefully he doesn't push them too much, as they will wear out quickly towards the end of the race.
Yeah, so he rejoins now in P17, does Neymar. Let's see if he does the undercut on the guys ahead, because he was fighting with the likes of the two McLarens and his own teammate as well. As Burmeister did set the fast up of the Grand Prix, pushing to try and get himself a DRS with Yusuf. He's 1 second away from the DRS of Yusuf, and also that Yusuf is 1 second away from Alex Copo. So when he get held up as well, the clouds, have you noticed, are starting to gather in. So we could really see a late shower towards the end of the Grand Prix. That'd be very interesting indeed to see a shower entering this Grand Prix. Could change the whole trajectory of this race.
Yeah, absolutely. It could really spice things up if we do get a shower. And I think obviously the guys on the hard tyres at the moment, they have noticed it starting to cloud over. So I'm wondering if they're waiting to see if there is any spots of rain and switch onto the relevant tyre, which will be best for that condition. As we have Karsh going down onto the inside of his teammate Adams into the hairpin. Nice move, runs a little bit wide there, but he does make the move stick and moves himself up into P5 there as he goes into the pits as well.
Dodgy pit lane entry there, as we see a few cars almost smash into the back of each other. Back in 2007 or 8, was it Robert Kubica who had a massive impact with a Toyota in that year as well, in the final corner? I'm not quite sure if it was Timo Glock or Jarno Trulli, but Robert Kubica had lost his whole wing in 2007 or 8. I'm not quite sure why I remember that. I think it was in the wet conditions at the time, back in those years. I'm not sure, but here comes then Yusuf on the back of Adams. Needs to overtake him immediately, which he does. Sends one to the inside and puts himself into P4. Crucially as well, because if he got stuck behind Adams in the high-speed corners, I think that will allow Burmeister and Top G to inch forwards then. So now he's into P3. He has got a car between himself and Adams, and he can pull away as well. So this is looking really good for Yusuf as well, because it's out of the DRS range of Burmeister and Lord by the Top G. But Burmeister could still get the DRS at the back of Adams off the DRS at the back of Yusuf as well. So that might bring Burmeister into play once again as well. But Lord by the Top G in P6 is using his medium compound tyres to his advantage. He's got past Mr. Joker a few laps ago. He's up into P6 now. He's caught up to the back of his train. As here we go then on the long or back straight. Yusuf is in P3. The top two are yet to pit in this Grand Prix. Velocio Jr., the RB teammate, and also Tiger Bucher in P2. Yusuf is in P3 with Adams right behind him with the DRS open, but he won't overtake him because he's too far back on the course with all the tyres. But Burmeister now has to overtake Adams, his former championship rival from last season. He has to get it done before turn number 1 to have a chance to try and fight with Yusuf in P2. But that's easy because it's out of the way.
Yeah, easy enough for him. Adams pulls into pit lane. So that brings Burmeister up into P2, and now he can continue his charge to get up onto the back of Yusuf and hopefully get himself back into that P1.
Can Burmeister... Oh, Burmeister had a massive snap out of turn 3 and turn 4, just complaining with wheel spin. Handful of oversteer as well, but he's not able to get himself a DRS range despite having DRS on the main straight off the back of Adams who pitted as well. So Adams rejoined down in P15. The undercut has worked for Neymar because it was behind both Mercedes, in fact both McLarens and one of the Mercedes drivers. So Neymar now puts himself into P12 ahead of that pack behind him. Behind Electro Dan as well. Mansell's now up to P9. He went for an early undercut like he did in Imola, which helped us get a podium. Now he's back inside the top 10. Tiger Bucher, though, good race for him so far. He's in P7 with the newest tyres out of the lot then. So keep an eye on Tiger Bucher in P7.
Yeah, I was going to say, here he comes. He's going to try and make the move onto the inside of Johan here, and he makes it even before the braking zone in the corner. Johan taps his back corner there a little bit as he cuts across behind him. However, he's made that move stick. However, again, Johan will have the DRS down this back straight, I believe. So, as you can see, Tiger Bucher using his DRS there to try and pull away from him, in which he should be safe. However, I think Johan was thinking about making a move in towards this hairpin. However, Tiger Bucher is safe for now.
Yes, he is then. So let's see. Between these two, had a good battle back in the Belgian Grand Prix last time. Another back together on the track once again is Jarl and Tiger Bucher. But Velocio Jr. in P5, I think Jarl might overtake. Yes, he will. So he puts himself into P6 now ahead of Tiger Bucher on a brand new set of mini compact tyres. There is 10 laps left to go in this Grand Prix. The top three are together. Lord by the top G. He has done a mega job so far, but he's got to carry those mediums towards the end. They can go towards the end, but as we know, on the mini compact tyres, when they degrade, they will fall apart, they will slide so much, they will gain extra unnecessary temperature as well, so there is no way recovering. So they could be struggling towards the end of the Grand Prix. Here's Lord by the top G, but Burmeister, Yusuf, let's see what happens there. Yusuf is on a charge so far this season after securing a win at the Belgian Grand Prix last time out, but he's got the championship leader behind him, which is Burmeister, who had a dismal race back in the Belgian Grand Prix, but he's back in P2, hunted down the race winner, or race leader, shall I say, and he's got Top G right behind him as well. Top G is hungry, but we know he's meeting compound tyres, might fall off towards the end. It could be his what's happening there? So Burmeister gets ahead, and Top G gets ahead. Yusuf made a mistake out turn 13, and now he drops himself into P3 with no DRS either.
Yeah, I think I've seen that as well. I think he just, the front of the car just sort of dipped on him around that long right-hand corner, which unfortunately made him lose a lot of time to Burmeister, and then Top G was able to overtake him as well. So that now puts Burmeister into P1, and hopefully Lugbad Top G doesn't hurt his medium tyres that much. As Electro Dan overtakes Mansell for P10, and he's also got Mindful Wasp as well, so that's a double overtake there for Electro Dan. Can Mindful Wasp do anything on those high tyres? Here comes Mansell now. Mansell's got Mindful Wasp there. He's thinking about making the move on his teammate. However, are they going to be using each other for that DRS to pull himself closer to Kluser and hopefully move himself up through the order? However, Mindful Wasp has not given up just yet. Mindful Wasp is trying to go around the outside of Mansell. Mansell gets a better drive out of the two of them there, so hopefully he has got that back to hold himself for P10. Here comes Mindful Wasp thinking about the move down the inside. Mindful Wasp curves the curve there. However, he did not have enough pace to pull himself alongside Mansell to try and get around the outside of that overtake there in that corner.
Two former teammates, of course, which was Mansell and Mindful Wasp, now separated in the Aston Martin and the Alpine. And Mindful Wasp was there for Mansell in the last race of the season. It was both Williams and both Aston Martins. Mansell is still in the Aston Martin, but got a new teammate of Electro Dan, who has got regular podiums as well in this league. He's got some good pace, has the Aston Martin of Electro Dan, but it looks like a Ferrari has gone for a spin somewhere. And of course, our usual suspect, it is Sedum, sorry. Velocio Jr. gets ahead of Mr. Joker. I'm surprised though, Mr. Joker, something's happened to him because he was in the fight for the lead of the train, but now they're outside the train. Velocio Jr. is on newer medium compound tyres, so can Velocio Jr., by going on the hard compound tyre, having the medium, the quicker tyre towards the end, can he catch the top four up? Top three, sorry.
Yeah. He's on one of the newest set of tyres there, so hopefully he can try and push himself to get up and catch up, as we've got Mansell now trying to go and make the overtake on Mindful Wasp. He runs a little bit too wide there. Mindful Wasp will have the inside, as Johan, as Kluser and Electric Dan are battling away there. Electric Dan gets the better drive out of that corner there, side by side now, coming up into the braking zone. And Electric Dan makes a new stick and stays ahead in P8 there.
We do see some good battles over time in China. I know 2019 was the most boring one because it was the F1 1000s and barely anything happened in China. It was a double start for both Mercedes, from Lewis Hamilton, Valtteri Bottas, if you remember that as well. There was contact down at turn 6 with Danny Kvyat, Lando Norris and Carlos Sainz, but yeah, barely anything to remember by in that Chinese Grand Prix. But the best Chinese Grand Prix I've witnessed, I think, is 2016. That was a really good one with loads of overtakes, even though Nico Rosberg won the Grand Prix by a milestone. There was so many good battles out there as Top G and Yusuf go side by side once again in towards the braking zone, but Yusuf gets a better exit as Brad G has to relieve the position as he puts himself now into P2 to Yusuf. Hunted down Burmeister. I wonder, with 8 laps left to go, when will the Top G's tyres start to fade away? Can he keep him alive towards the end? He does have that fighting chance, but Also, another question, what about Velocio Jr. in P4? Can he catch with half the age tyres as well in 4th place? He's bringing along Mr. Joker as well in P5, so the top 5 could be back together. But I wonder what happened to Mr. Joker's pace in the early stint, because he was leading, had a comfortable lead as well, but something must have happened in the pit stops, whether he got stuck behind people, couldn't overtake him, whether the rest of them just pulled away, who knows. But it's a shame for Mr. Joker. He's actually dropped out of the DRS range now of Velocio Jr., so Jr. has been freed. Oh, Top G made a big mistake out of turn 6 there, lost the rear in the car, went in the grass, but luckily saved the car and keeps going once again. So he's made a lot of mistakes we've seen in this Grand Prix, especially on the hard compound tyres, when the back end just kept stepping out of him as well. So he needs to be careful, because any more mistakes like that, he won't have a chance to save the car, because it will go completely. But yeah, we know the medium compound tyres aren't really forgiving when it comes to tyre wear, but the guy behind us has caught up by a lot. He get about 1 second a lap, did Velocio Jr. So he's down towards 2 seconds, 1.8, so he's really gaining, is the RB. Could he have a chance to win this Grand Prix with 7 laps left to go?
He could, as we get the first penalty of the race of Electra, down with the 3-second time penalty there for the multiple warnings of track limits. But yeah, Velocio Jr., he has got a chance. It's hovering around about that 2-second mark. However, he has got sections of this track in which he is quicker, and again, in which he gains the time. So hopefully we could see a four-car battle for the race win today.
Yusuf almost doing an Alex Albon as he went completely off in the final corner. I think he did that to avoid a track limit 1, because when you go off the track, there's a little trick where if you go completely off and slow down, you will not get the validation there. So I think Yusuf got away with it, but in the final corner, he must lost it. We saw plenty of crashes in that particular corner. I remember Pascal Wehrlein being one of them as well, and Antonio Giovinazzi in 2017 when he took over Pascal Wehrlein. That's what I meant to say. It was Antonio Giovinazzi. I think it was Yuki Tsunoda last season who crashed there. I'm not quite sure, in the RB in the practice sessions. It was also Alex Albon being the main one in 2019. Fernando Alonso almost lost it, and there's plenty of more, but off the top of my memory, I can't really think of any more for the time being, unless you can.
No, I think that's pretty much all of them that you have recalled from what I can remember, as Danny Boy retires in the pit lane. Lord Brad Top G is all over the back of Yusuf at the moment, so hopefully he can try and use those medium tyres to his advantage. However, they are going to start complaining as they were around that corner there. Back end just slid out from him that little bit. So they are giving him warning signs saying, look, this is as much as I can do. However, look at Velocio Jr. Velocio Jr. is within the DRS of Lord Brad Top G, so the top 4 are all up together, ready to go for these last few flying laps of the race in China.
This is incredible. 2 hard runners versus 2 medium runners, but the Top G has got the oldest tyres out of the lot on the medium compound tyres. His tyres should be starting to go anytime as well, but Velocio Jr.'s tyres should be in good shape still in P4, so let's see then what happens in the last remaining laps of this Grand Prix. But he did drop out of DRS range. Wonder what happened to him in the last corner, turn 1 or turn 2, just lost a lot of time. I did see him pull out to the right side, so I think he made a mistake there, I'm not quite sure, but he's still in DRS range right now. Top G is on the back of Velocio Jr., the other RB of Yusuf. We know that both RBs don't really work together that well. We've seen it in the past. It seems like Yusuf and Mr. Joker work really well, but Mr. Joker's not here, unfortunately. He's down in P5 out of the DRS range, followed by Tiger Buka in P6. By the way, an impressive debut for Tiger Buka in P6 there. Fantastic from the Williams, and Oliver will be happy for the points the Williams will gain tonight, with Burmeister in the lead and Buka in P6. So fantastic from both Williams there tonight. But it's not over yet. There is 5 laps left to go. The order could change dramatically in the space of a few laps, or 1 lap indeed, but we'll see what happens.
Absolutely, yeah. Big shout out there to Tiger Buka up in P6. He has got the DRS on Mr. Joker, so hopefully he can make another overtake and get himself up into that P5. So that'll be an incredible debut there for Tiger Buka if he can get himself up into P5. He's just sort of flirting a little bit there with Mr. Joker, saying, look, I'm here, I'm ready to overtake you, I'm on fresher tyres, I'm going to get you towards the end of the Grand Prix, as we have 4 laps left to go of the race, or 5, I can't remember. I keep forgetting how to figure these laps out. Tiger Buka is all over the back of Mr. Joker there, so he's thinking about it. So yeah, it could be anybody's game for the race, and hopefully Tiger will be able to just get that P5.
You would have thought RB would have been a good place to win the Grand Prix because they can play the cards right with both of them attacking Burmeister and helping each other for DRS there. So Burmeister might be in a bit of trouble if the both RB drivers decide to work together. But Clouston now in a battle with Adams and Mansell behind. These four have been close on each other's tail for such a long time, these guys. As we head down towards turn 6, Adams looking for a move, but he's a bit too far back to do so. He made a late lunge on Mansell a few laps ago, but made it stick. But I think Mansell saw him coming, wanted to avoid contact, but Velocio Jr. is going down the inside, in towards turn 12, no way! They bang each other as we head down towards the double right-hander we go, as Yusuf has been left in the dust, and now in the clutches of Lord by the top G. Velocio Jr. taking no prisoners, no mercy from him, as he's centred down the inside, and now he's on a charge after Burmeister. Burmeister's lead is in real threat here. Velocio Jr. is going for his first win of the season. He's got his first podium back in Belgium. Now he's going for his first win. Can he get it? Tiger Bucher now gets ahead on Mr. Joker for P5. But the thing is that Burmeister has been in a situation before. He knows how to play the game as well. So let's see then. Will Velocio Jr. overtake him immediately and risk having Burmeister use the DS at the back of him and overtake him later? Will he play this tactically? Because usually when you're in first place towards the last stages, it don't go well whatsoever. So you've got to play this tactically as well. But look at this. Is that... I'm not quite sure what I'm seeing here, but the side-by-side as more contacts made. Oh my goodness, both RBs tonight are giving each other no mercy, and Burmeister has pulled away. The gap should be over a second, it is. So I have no idea what happened there between those two. I thought Junior was letting his teammate go, but both RBs have now completely screwed their chance of winning a race for the team. They had a big chance of winning, but they've thrown it all away due to pride.
Yeah, they just got a bit too happy there. It's a shame. You would have thought that if they are teammates, they'd be talking with each other, saying, "Look, you got more pace than me. You go get the race win for the team. We'll just catch up the scraps if there is any at the end of the race." However, Veloci Jr. is able to close that gap back down to just over a second. However, I think Youssef is struggling on those tyres a little bit. The car is a little complaining that little bit every here and there. So I don't think it's all lost for Veloci Jr. I think he can possibly go for the race win, as we have a yellow flag there for one of the Ferraris. I think it is Xenon. But yeah, I think he can still do it if he puts his mind to it, get back into a rhythm again. He might be able to get back again to get onto the back of Burmeister.
Yeah, for some reason I thought that Velocio Jr. moved out of the way to let his teammate go after what happened down in towards that right-hander, but he didn't. He just plainly made a mistake, went out wide towards turn 1, misjudged his braking point, then had his teammate for company. Those two went side by side in towards 3 or 4. Then we know what happened there. Getting shoved off the track was Yusuf. Top G's back in P3, but his medium compound tyres must be screaming that it could be a double RB podium like it was in Belgium. Or could Top G ruin it? It could be a double RB podium in a row, but maybe not a race bid. Velocio Jr. is struggling to get in the DRS range of Burmeister. So Burmeister is doing a good job of keeping that gap over a second, keeping it nice and controlled there, making sure he doesn't get himself in DRS range in the last sector. But let's see then, does he have the grip still on the medium compound tyres, Velocio Jr.? Maybe that peak performance on the mediums have gone now. In the background, we did see Yusuf make a mistake, and he did, out of that double left-hander, out of turn 10. So, a little mistake with big consequences. It's out of the DRS range now, is Yusuf. It's Top G, who is hunted down Velocio Jr., who is not able to get himself back in DRS range of Burmeister. So, let's see what happens on the straight. If Top G does get in front of him, that'd be massive problems for Velocio Jr., because he's looking to go forwards, but end up going backwards instead. Top G is not going to go for the move just yet. He's buying his time, maybe thinking about this tactically, just in case that if he does put himself in second place, he won't have the DRS to back of Burmeister on all the tyres, and therefore both RBs might get it back later.
Yeah, I've just been looking through the race director at the penalties, and Top G has got to be careful with track limits. He has got 2 warnings. So he's got to be that a little bit careful with what he does so he doesn't get himself penalties. Mansell spins out of the hairpin. He just put too much throttle down and lost the back end of the car there. He's on the hard tyres, so I'm not too sure what happened there for him as he's carrying on through the race. Still in P13, however, he's lost all of that time to the guys in front of him. He's got to be careful of Atlas Copa, who's behind him, and he's broken his front wing as well, so the car is not happy with the turning angle on here. So that's just unfortunate there for Mansell. However, back up at the front for Loxley Jr., he's there or thereabouts for the DRS range. He's got himself back into the DRS now of Burmeister, but however I think it might be a little bit too late for him to close back up again.
Yeah, you can just see him in the slow speed corners just losing the momentum as the tyres get older and older. I think Burmeister's tyres could be in better shape in comparison towards Velocio Jr. He does have the DRS, so it'll inch him back forwards towards Burmeister. But how much though? How much time would he gain on the straight? Not a lot, only by about 2/10, maybe 1/10 after having DRS at the back of him, so not much gained, and this could really help Burmeister on the last lap as Burmeister is making his way towards the final corner. He has got an RB all over the back of him. Does he have enough battery left saved to try and defend against Velocio Jr.? Last time out at the Belgian Chinese Grand Prix, it was Adams versus, I think it was Keith at the time. It was a McLaren 1-2, and Adams didn't have enough battery to defend himself, protect himself against Keith. But look at this, he's gaining and gaining in towards turn 1 and turn 2. Can he keep it nice and clean in towards 3 and 4? Velocio Jr. has had many chances to try and overtake Burmeister, but unfortunately seems to be ended up fighting his teammate instead, and both go for the track there. But here we are headed down towards turn 6 we go. Let's see what happens then. Let's see who will win the Grand Prix. Can Velocio Jr. get his first win of the season, or when he go to Burmeister to get his second win of the season? Nobody in this season has won more than one race, but Burmeister could be on his way to do that, to get his second win of the season and extend his championship lead. His closest competitors of Mansell and Neymar are far away. Neymar's P16, Mansell is P14. Electro Dan has a chance to get Mansell in the championship as well, and so does Velocio Jr. if he finishes second place. As here we are, the gap is 0.3 of a second. This is the closest it's been so far. After all those mistakes, can be put behind him. This is a big chance to win the Grand Prix. Burmeister is defending left and right with the DRS wide open on the RB. He is in the slipstream, now pulls out as he takes the lead of the Grand Prix, but Burmeister's still there. He switches the inside line to block past him as we head down towards turn 40, but Burmeister could get a better exit. The wheel to wheel, massive wheel spin as we head towards the final corner. It could be a close finish. There's a contact in the final corner. They both go on the track. Burmeister come across the line to win the Chinese Grand Prix. Velocio Jr. finishes in P2, Lord Brother Top G in P3, and Yusuf finishes in P4. But Jr. missed out on a win after contact at turn 14. He went a bit too deep in towards 14. He couldn't get the traction he needed, and therefore Burmeister was able to get him. Of course, there's going to be contact in the final corner because it's such a sharp turn. Only one car could go through.
I was going to say that the final turn is such a tight turn. It closes up right on the apex there. It's just such a shame there for Velocio Jr. He was so close to getting that first win of the season, and Burmeister was able to get the drive out of that hairpin to be able to sort of get a little bit in front of him before the final corner there. However, hats off to Burmeister there. He knew what he was doing. It just such a shame there for Velocio Jr. for missing out on that win. So here we are, driver of the day on for Wasp in the Alpine.
Sorry about that.
No, you're all good.
As I was saying then when I was muted, I was talking and I was like, what? But anyways, as we go through the results then, it is Burmeister who wins ahead of Velocio Jr. Fantastic victory, one of the closest finishes once again, like it was last season when it was Keith versus Adams for the win. Junior in P2 ahead of Lord by the Top G, who picks himself up a first podium of the season. Yusuf in P4, Mr. Joker P5, Tiger Buka 6th ahead of Yohum, Adams 8th ahead of Marfo Wasp, Electro Dan P10 with a penalty still, Clueslow P11 ahead of Karsh, Atlas Copa 13, Mansell 14th, a dismal race for the man who will be demoted off the top three in the championship standings. Stankin 15th, Neymar 16th, Emil 17th, and once again, it's a dismal race for both Ferraris, but Zedam did get the fastest lap as the DNSR Martin and Atlas Copa, Lord Danny Boy, sorry. Both Red Bulls were out of this race.
Yeah, it's a shame there for the Red Bulls. However, it just was not meant to be for them. Shout out to Tiger Beaker for that P6. He just missed out on the P5 there of Mr. Joker. But yeah, no, absolute flyover race, and hopefully we can get the top 3 in for an interview.
There's one of them.
So, at least I'm going to read the messages.
Hopefully that Andrew Tate will join.
Yeah.
Birdmaster usually joins, but he likes to cool off for a bit, go outside, because he sweats a lot. There's the race winner. Now we're just waiting for the top G. Thank you for all the viewers as well in the chat. Been an absolute pleasure to commentate with you. I think the peak we had was 32 people watching at one time. So thank you very much for all your support once again on the chat. There's not been many comments, but still people engaging and watching as well. So it's nice to see the support you guys give us in the chat. As we're just waiting for the top G. It hasn't been on the podium for a long time, so you might forget to do the podium interviews.
Yeah.
To keep these drivers from waiting, I'll just start with Velocio Jr. So, Velocio Jr., mate, fantastic result in P2, fantastic race, your second podium of the season after you picked up your first in Belgium with an RB12. Once again, it's a second place. And what's your feelings after this Grand Prix? Are you a bit frustrated knowing there could have been more on the table? You might be a bit frustrated because we know you and your teammate were getting a bit too hot-headed at the time. So talk us through the race. Yeah, because I have seen on stream where Mr. Joker and Yusuf were together, so it's a shame that you don't really have a teammate to support you, but you're doing a really good job overall, it must be said. But that last lap, oh, we can't hear you by the way, Yusuf, Velocio Jr., so make sure your voice is shared by going to the party settings with the 3 dots and your voice to be shared, please.
Do you hear me now?
Yep. Wait, let me talk us through your race and I'll see if I can hear you.
So yeah, I think the start was very tricky because 3 medium runners were behind me, so I knew I was going to lose places, but I kept my calm. I knew I would have chances at the end of the race. The only bad thing that I did is that I pitted maybe a lap too late. But yeah, overall I think I can be happy with the pace I had. And yeah, maybe in the last lap I had to do something else to take the first place. But Burmeister drove a really good race, so congrats to him.
Your heart must have been pounding towards the last few corners because you just got him. But unfortunately, you outbroke yourself a bit too much, went a bit too deep, and Burmeister had a better exit. And of course, 2 cars can't go to 1 in the final corner because it's such a very sharp turn indeed. So contact was bound to be made, but at least you didn't spin out and still finished second place. So you must be still happy with another podium on the cars today.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I expected him to go very deep, so that's why I covered the corner before. But actually, that cost me the win, I think, because I don't think he would have challenged that. So yeah, looking back to that, I maybe should have just stick to my line, and then I probably would have won. But it's okay. I mean, 2 second places back to back is showing that my pace is getting better each week. So yeah, let's keep it up.
Yeah, I hope so as well, because I know you had a bit of a slow start to the season where things were quite going your way, but you are making vast improvements as well. So it's very nice to see your development so far in the last few races. So congrats on the podium as well. And how do you feel for the next race, which should be, I did check a few moments ago and I just forgot, but let me check. It is the Singapore Grand Prix. How do you feel for that? How do you feel for that one?
I mean, I haven't driven it yet this game, so I will have to practice it. But yeah, in F1 23 it was one of my better tracks.
Same.
But yeah, there are two different games. I still have to get used to this game. But I think I can do very well if I practice enough.
Hopefully, and I think you move up to P3 in the championship because Electro Dan and Madso weren't too far away from you in the points haul, and Electro Dan and Madso didn't particularly have a good race either. So I think you move up to P3 now. You and your teammate, what's going to happen for the rest of the season with you and your teammate? Because your RBs are looking very strong, but how are you going to try and communicate with your teammate? Are you going to try and work together in the next week coming races, try and work as a team and get those points RB need?
I mean, I think it's really just each player for its own. We will get the points for RB, of course, and hope that we can win the constructors. But I don't feel like really like he's my teammate, so I'm just focusing, to be honest, on the driver championship, and yeah, that's it.
Well, I don't know if you remember me from Cone. Do you remember me from Cone? Indigo as the commentator.
Yeah, I remember.
So I was hoping you remember me because I remember you, but it's nice to see you back in league racing so far.
Yeah, it's been a minute, but yeah, I'm just trying to get back to it and hopefully, yeah, win some races this season.
I hope so too, mate. It's nice to see you back. I know you in the last game as well. You had your struggles, but hopefully they're put behind you and you can start to move on. And yeah, once again, congratulations on P2. Good luck for the next race. And Simo, you got any questions for Vlochi?
No, not really. You sort of asked all of my questions like you normally do. However, congratulations again on that P2. It's just a shame that you just missed out on that first win of the season. But yeah, no, congratulations and
thank you.
Like you say, you feel like Singapore's your stronger track. So yeah, hopefully you can sort of keep that pace running into Singapore. Are you sort of feeling confident with it? Obviously, I know you said it was sort of a stronger track, but you're feeling confident, and hopefully are you going to see how it plans out in your couple of practices you've got lined up?
Yes. Thank you.
No worries.
Simo, since you had no questions to ask for Blosho Jr., I will let you take away Burmeister.
Beautiful. Burmeister. What a race. You seem like you had it all under control as such. Obviously, you had the battles. It was great seeing you get the 4 places in, 2 laps, I think it was, going from 4th to 1st. How did you feel it went? How did you think the race went for you?
Well, thanks. After last week, I threw up all my food. I fell down the stairs on the same day, and I was ill, very ill, and I raced, but in the end it was a disaster. I spun like 3 or 4 times, which is like crazy for me, but I was just really sick, but I was in the sim anyways, but it cost me a lot of points, so I was determined to make the Burmeister podcast work again today. So yeah, we did, and I enjoyed it, and I've had some discussions with rising stars from Division 1 about setup and things, and he also really helped me out in thinking which way to go, so I want to thank him as well. But I was determined to continue the podcast after the illness of last week.
Yeah, and obviously it's nice to hear that you are feeling better from what happened last week, and obviously you proved that with this race win. Singapore coming up next, how are you sort of feeling towards that? Obviously it's a bit mixed track for some people, it's a street circuit, so how are you sort of feeling for that?
Well, I like the track. I think it's high downforce. It's very technical. Also, China is a really difficult technical circuit, and I like it when it gets this way, like Monza or Austria, as we had before. It's not really difficult. And here, also in China, every corner has its own difficulties, and that's for sure in Singapore as well. So I'm looking forward.
Looking forward to it. Brilliant. Jamie, you got any questions for Bowmaster?
Were you a bit nervous when both RBs were on the way? Because I know you were fighting off one RB of Yusuf, but the other one was on freshly really good bar tyres. Were there any concerns for you because you saw him coming out of late and Nos, but at the same time he did make those mistakes? So did he ease the pressure, or were you still on the attack the whole time?
Well, I saw them coming from behind. I think Ayub was coming from behind, and Lord Danny Boy, I think, with the mediums. And my thought was just let's keep them behind, and after the laps pass, their tires get worse and worse and worse. And I've taken good care of my tires, so I thought like every lap I saw them. Yeah, in the end I saw them a bit drifting and struggling in the middle section. And then I thought like, okay, maybe I can get this to the end, but in the end, Ayub Junior, I think, is he Ayub or Neymar? Ayub, I think, yeah. We got a battle in the last corner, and I thought I was gonna lose that race, and if he made it, it would have been great. But as he mentioned before, he was covering the late line, and I was thinking when I was on the outside to go for the switchback, and that's what I did, and it worked out in the end. And then the last corner I had to go wide because I think otherwise we both crashed off, and I didn't have any warnings before that, so I think that's all fine. But I think the race was decided in the penultimate corner, and that was a great battle.
Yeah, it was indeed a great switchback, and had to go on the outside off the track to make sure he didn't spin. So well done today, mate. And the championship is pretty much looking alive for you now, Meister. Is your thoughts on the championship, or are you still continuing one race at a time? Because we know what happened last season. Maybe you just go for one race at a time.
Let's go one race at a time, and let's focus on every race. And I just want to win a championship, and then we'll see what we do afterwards. I also want to join the guys back in Div 1 if it's no assists, because I still think assists are ruining the games and not getting the right guys together. So yeah, let's. If I win a championship, I'm looking forward to join the guys in Div 1 again, which I've been in before, and I think I belong. And let's hope the game gets a lot better also next year. Like it's like a kids game now. Let's go for full simulator again.
Yeah,
I
just
concur.
seeing in the chat, Mansour's just put in the chat, Meister the new champion.
No.
Yeah, so he's obviously happy for you, and I think he's struggling a little bit with this season. But I remember I've been talking with him, and he was saying you're just on another level this season. Has something sort of changed from last season to coming up to this one, or you sort of kept your head down and just cracked on with it?
Well, I think I've been discussing this way more times before, but it's like the summary of it is like last season I couldn't be determined in the beginning in the summer because I play a lot of tennis as well, and if it's 30 degrees I'd rather play some tennis with friends than be inside playing F1, and that's why I lost last season. And also because 2 weeks vacation to Tenerife, I lost 2 races couldn't compete in 2 races in the end of the season, and I missed like on 7 points the championship. So I think when the weather got worse, I've got more determined and more playing again, and then I was like making points like crazy, and now. This season I'm determined to win the championship because it ends in April, and then the good weather is starting in the Netherlands. So I want to focus on this season and one by one, and we'll see where we get.
Yeah. Well, congratulations again on the race win again today. Jamie, I will hand it back over to you.
Oh, thank you so much, and again, thank you for commentating with me. It's always nice to be in the comments box with you.
Yeah, absolutely. I've something for me to look forward to after a long, stressful day working on the BMWs. But you know, it's always a pleasure commentating alongside you, Jamie.
Thank you so much, and we've got one more race left at the Chinese Grand Prix, which is tomorrow. Join me and Owen Madsell back for Division 1 at 7:30. Let's see what happens there. But for tonight, goodbye for now. And also, pre-season testing starts tomorrow in Bahrain, early in the morning and late in the afternoon. So I can't wait for that either. So we'll see what happens in pre-season testing. Doesn't really matter. It all matters when it comes to Q1 in Australia. But we'll see you later. Have goodbye and goodbye for now. And Madsell join the party, my commentator for tomorrow. Ik hou van jou.